Hi, I'm Chef Brenner from Bold Organics. We make allergen-free foods, including a delicious line of frozen pizzas. Today I'm going to be making for you a stir fry. This is something that is most people like to think they can make, but they actually have never seen how to do it. Normally we would use a wok. Because of my setup here in the Bold kitchens, we actually use these induction burners, which are fantastic. So we're going to be using a pan with a little bit of a sloped side. It'll have the same effect as a stir fry. So into this hot pan, I'm going to add a little bit of oil. Just about a half cup should be good. And this should be a nice clean oil, like a grapeseed oil or a high smoke point. So I'm going to add into that our chicken. Now this chicken has been marinated overnight. And all that is in this is a little bit of soy sauce and cornstarch. And that's just going to give the chicken a nice coating so that when we're cooking it, it's going to have a nice little crispy outer edge, and it's going to have that little bit of salt from the soy. So while this is cooking, I'm just going to kind of spread it around a little bit, kick the heat up. While this is cooking, I'm going to make our sauce. So the sauce is just a little bit of soy sauce. I've got just a touch of sesame oil, a little salt, some sugar, just about equal parts. And I've also got a tiny amount of cornstarch. Again, this cornstarch is going to thicken up the dish. It's going to create the sauce when it's all done. The thing to know about cornstarch is that you want to add it into cold liquids. It won't actually activate and thicken until it's added to the hot liquid. So you want to make sure you always add your cornstarch to the cold liquid, get it nicely incorporated, just like that. Going back to our chicken here, as you can see, it's starting to brown and crisp. The first part of this dish is always to get the protein cooked. You always want to cook the protein, get it done, and then you're going to drain off the oil, and you're going to remove the meat from here. And then we'll go back, we'll use the flavoring in the pan for all of our aromatics that we're going to add in just a bit. Okay, so our chicken is just about ready. What I've done is I'm cooking this is I've actually been scraping the bottom of the pan, getting all those little bits out of there. Those are going to be the little flavor crystals, I like to think of, little salty tidbits. You'll notice I'm using a wooden spoon, which is very traditional in this type of cooking. I love using it. So I've got our little spider here, which is just a little strainer. I'm going to set the chicken out. And then once I get this out, I'm going to drain off a little bit of this oil. I'm going to leave a little bit in the pan so that I can continue cooking the other ingredients. But you're going to want to pour off all of it, but maybe 1 tablespoon. So here we have about a tablespoon of oil left in the pan. And to that, the first thing we want to add is these chili peppers. These are about 5 pods, and these are a nice hot red chili. I like to leave them whole because they can be removed by someone who doesn't really necessarily want to eat that. They can just pull it out as they like. The next thing I'm going to add to this is a little bit of bok choy. I've got this bok choy diced up. And these two ingredients together, the bok choy is going to release a little bit of liquid, and then the chili is going to release its oils, and they're going to mix in nicely. So I'm just stirring this together. I've also got water chestnuts. These are going to remain crisp. It's going to be that nice little crunch throughout the dish that's going to give it a nice bite and a nice little texture. So I'm doing the stir and the fry, as you can see. Next I'm going to add in our ginger and garlic. I've added these a little bit later because you don't want them to burn. They can burn. So we don't want those flavors to be muted in any way. We want them to be very vibrant and very fresh. It's the whole point of the stir fry. So you can see I've got my ingredients in here. One of the chilies bounced off. It's probably too hot anyway. And then to this I'm going to add back our chicken. And you see why they call it the stir fry. You get them mixed together. Now this is technically probably called a princess chicken, which is just a dish that I love. To this dish you could add peanuts, but again, because I'm kind of the allergen-free chef here, I like to make sure that we make things without nuts. But peanuts would be a very traditional version of it. So again, we have a hot pan, we have our cold liquid sauce with a little bit of the cornstarch in there. And that's going to thicken up very, very quickly. So of course, we're going to have some rice. I like to use like day-old rice. That's very traditional to have a little bit of a day-old rice. It fries up a little nicer. It doesn't retain as much of the oil either. So there we have our princess chicken stir fry. It's going to be a little spicy. It's going to be a little fresh, and it's going to be fantastic. So now I'm going to plate this up. I have a nice long plate. It's going to look beautiful. So check out bold-organics.com. You can get more recipes that I've put together for other stir fries, other gluten-free and dairy-free ingredients, as well as other items that I'm working on, or just to check out our delicious line of pizzas. So there's your princess chicken stir fry. It's beautiful, healthy, light. Enjoy.